This is what the Tour de France looked like a century ago, and here's what it looks like now. So how did we get here? Well, it all started in 1903, when a French newspaper called L'Auto desperately needed to boost sales. And boom! Just like that, the Tour de France was born. But at first it was pretty much cycling's version of survival mode. Riders raced on dirt roads, fixed gear bikes without brakes, and the stages could last over 400 kilometers. Yeah, it was absolute madness. Imagine riding a bike with no gears, no brakes, and roads that looked more like mud tracks. Riders had to fix their own mechanical problems because no outside assistance was allowed. Insane, right? In the earliest years, stages would often start in the dead of night, with riders racing through dark rural landscapes guided only by dim lanterns and the moonlight. Organizers even scattered nails and debris on roads to increase the difficulty, turning the race into a true spectacle of resilience and determination. The first ever winner, Maurice Garin, conquered the race by sheer grit, navigating the treacherous roads and adverse conditions.
Before we go further, if you're enjoying this ride through history, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Bike Flicks for more high-quality cycling documentaries and stories. We drop new videos every week, so turn on the notification bell so you never miss a stage of the action. By 1910, things got even crazier as they introduced mountain stages, forcing riders up the brutal climbs of the Pyrenees. They tackled epic passes like the Tourmalet, barely surviving and often pushing their bikes uphill by hand. Thank God for gears eventually being added. Back then, the Tourmalet was unpaved, treacherous, and incredibly steep. Riders would collapse from exhaustion or injury, yet quitting wasn't an option for most. They literally had to drag themselves and their bikes over mountains. Stories from these early years were filled with epic tales of riders pushing beyond human limits, often in harsh weather conditions, to complete grueling stages. During this era, riders like Octave Lapise and Francois Fabre became heroes, facing not just physical exhaustion, but freezing temperatures, fierce winds, and relentless rain. Lapise famously shouted "Murderers, oh!" at organizers while climbing the Col du Tourmalet in sheer agony, capturing the brutal essence of early tours. But just as the race was gaining momentum, World War I broke out in 1914, and the Tour went on a 5-year hiatus. When it returned in 1919, Eugène Christophe famously had to weld his own broken bike by himself mid-race. That's hardcore. This wasn't some quick fix either. Christophe had to find a blacksmith shop, repair his own bike, and continue racing, costing him hours and the overall victory. Such stories of perseverance only added to the race's legend and appeal. Before we continue, quick shout out to our very first sponsor ever, RedWhite Apparel. They make the BIB, a long-distance cycling short that's honestly changed the way I ride. Handmade in Italy, with a super comfy 4-layer chamois pad, silicone grippers that actually hold up, and a sleek black look that fits with anything you own. The company's run by just one guy, Yuva, and he puts everything into these bibs. Plus, free express shipping worldwide. Give them some love. Check out the link below, visit the site, and see what they're doing. Alright, back to the video. The post-war years saw increased enthusiasm and more organised support, laying the groundwork for modern cycling. The 1920s and 30s brought in cycling legends like André Leduc and Antonin Magnier, who captivated fans with their grit and talent. However, things got messy when accusations of doping emerged as riders admitted using alcohol, cocaine, and even ether to dull their pain. Yeah, not exactly healthy sportsmanship. Despite controversies, these decades produced remarkable champions and dramatic races that built the Tour's legendary status. The intense competition and the fierce rivalries between riders fascinated fans and ensured the event's growing popularity. The media began covering races extensively, turning riders into national heroes. Then came World War II, halting the Tour again from 1940 to 1946. But when racing resumed, it became bigger and tougher than ever. By 1952, cycling had its first true superstar, Fausto Coppi. He won races so dominantly they called him Il Campionissimo, which literally means the champion of champions. Coppi was known for his revolutionary training methods and meticulous preparation, setting new standards for the sport. His iconic duels with rival Gino Bartali became legendary, captivating entire nations. Their rivalry even symbolized Italy's post-war recovery and unity. But in 1957, Jacques Anquetil entered the scene and became the first rider to win the Tour 5 times, absolutely dominating the 60s. Yet his biggest rival, Raymond Poulidor, ironically became more popular despite never winning. Imagine being beloved for always finishing second. Poor guy. This rivalry divided fans and created intense drama each year, fueling the Tour's growing popularity. The contrast in their styles and personalities added layers of intrigue to each race. The 1970s gave us Eddie Merckx, nicknamed the Cannibal, because he devoured everything in sight, winning 5 tours along with countless other races. The guy was practically unstoppable. Merckx didn't just win, he annihilated competitors, often winning by massive margins. His relentless ambition reshaped how cyclists competed, setting a new standard of dominance and determination. His victories weren't just athletic achievements, they redefined professional cycling. But the 80s brought drama. Bernard Hinault, the Badger, won 5 tours. But his most famous moment might be punching a protester mid-race. And then Greg LeMond, an American, made history by winning the Tour 3 times, after surviving a near-fatal hunting accident. Hey, before you go, I just want to say thanks to RedWhite Apparel, our very first sponsor here on BikeFlix. They make seriously good long-distance bibs. That's all they do. And it shows. It's run by Yuva, a solo founder who designs, ships, and supports everything himself. If you want to support what we do here, check out his website. It really helps. The link's down in the description. Go give them a look, and maybe even try the BIB. Talk about a comeback story. Le Mans victories introduced cycling to American audiences, expanding its global appeal. The fierce rivalry between Hinault and LeMond in the 1986 Tour is still remembered as one of the greatest battles in cycling history. Hinault became one of the few riders in history to secure 5 victories, cementing his legendary status. In the 90s, Miguel Indurain emerged, winning 5 consecutive tours from 1991 to 1995, becoming a symbol of endurance and consistency. Meanwhile, riders started getting caught doping left and right, culminating in the infamous Festina scandal of 1998, nearly destroying the race's reputation. But just when things seemed bleak, Lance Armstrong arrived, and for 7 years straight, he dominated, becoming a global icon. Armstrong's victories initially seemed inspiring, but beneath the surface, controversy loomed. Armstrong's rise and fall deeply impacted cycling, leading to significant changes in how doping was controlled and perceived. However, Armstrong's fairy tale crumbled when, in 2012, he was stripped of all his titles after admitting to doping. Cycling was shaken to its core, forcing the Tour to rethink everything. The fallout was immense, leading to stricter doping controls and profound changes to restore integrity. New testing protocols and transparency measures were introduced, ensuring a cleaner future for the sport. Today, the Tour is bigger than ever. It's broadcast in over 190 countries, watched by billions of people worldwide, and riders compete with state-of-the-art bikes costing upwards of €15,000 each. It's a high-tech circus on wheels. Behind each rider is a massive support team. Nutritionists, mechanics, trainers and data analysts, all working meticulously to gain even the slightest advantage. Technology has revolutionized every aspect of the race, from equipment to strategy. Yet despite all the changes, the heart of the Tour remains unchanged. It's still the ultimate test of endurance, courage and willpower. Riders push their bodies to extreme limits, tackling mountains, weather conditions, and sheer physical exhaustion. But as we look ahead, who knows what the future holds? Could we see electric bikes, virtual reality stages, or even AI-powered teams? One thing's for sure, this isn't just cycling anymore. It's history in the making, and we're just getting started. And looking even further ahead, imagine the tour of the future. Fully sustainable teams powered by renewable energy, AI-managed training programs tailored specifically for each rider's physiology, augmented reality, experiences, bringing spectators right into the action, and perhaps even extraterrestrial stages. Why not a stage on the Moon or Mars? With technology evolving at lightning speed, the Tour de France is set to become not just a cycling race, but a cutting-edge showcase of human innovation and adventure. If you've made it this far, you're clearly as passionate about cycling as we are. So why not support the journey? Hit like, drop a comment with your favorite tour moment, and share this video with your cycling crew. And remember, this is Bike Flicks, where the road never ends.